At 1:47 a.m. on October 23, 2005, darkness enveloped a small house on Snapdragon Road, Acilla, Georgia. Inside the silent bedroom, a table lamp lay tilted on the floor, its shattered glass glinting faintly under the weak moonlight, the bulb still warm, as if someone had turned it off just moments ago. Nearby, an alarm clock rested under the bed, its hands frozen, holding on to a moment no one would recall. Outside on the dew-soaked lawn, a white rubber glove lay quietly, a faint streak of dried blood on its edge, so small it could easily be missed, but enough to stop your heart if you looked closely. Tara Grinstead, the young teacher of the town, had been here just hours before, her smile still lingering on her lips. Now she was gone, vanishing into the night without a sound, without a trace. Only that glove remained, carrying her DNA, and that of a man no one had ever seen. That morning Tara's mother called. The phone rang 17 times, but no one answered. By Monday, she didn't show up at school, something that hadn't happened in her 10 years of teaching. The police broke down the door, and a chilling cold rushed out. They found the bed in disarray, a strand of hair on the pillow, the phone fully charged but untouched. Tara's wallet and keys had vanished. Someone had been here in this house in the small town where everyone thought they knew everything. But no one heard a thing. No one saw a thing. And the question lingered. Where had Tara gone? Or where had she been taken? Tara Grinstead was no ordinary woman. At 30 years old, she was a star in the eyes of Acilla, a dedicated history teacher, a former beauty pageant contestant with a radiant smile. She had once stepped onto the stage under the spotlight, dreaming of the Miss Georgia crown, her eyes sparkling with ambition. But that wasn't all. Tara used those pageants to earn scholarships, to turn her dream of becoming a teacher into reality. And she succeeded. At Irwin County High School, she stood before the chalkboard, recounting tales of ancient battles with a warm voice, as if she were living through each story. Her students adored her. Miss Grinstead made everything come alive, a boy once said, his eyes lighting up. Her colleagues admired her. Youthful, passionate, always ready to help. But Tara wasn't as perfect as she seemed. Behind that smile were cracks. She had once loved Marcus Harper, a cold former cop, an Army Ranger with strong hands and a distant gaze. They'd met in high school, and Tara believed he was the man she'd build a family with. But Marcus didn't want to be tied down. "I don't belong in this small town," he once told her, his voice dry. In the summer of 2005, they broke up. Tara couldn't hide her pain. She wanted a home, her best friend Maria Woods Harbor recalled, but Marcus only wanted to run. On the night of October 22nd, Tara left a barbecue at a friend's house. She wore her favorite red dress, smiling as she waved goodbye to everyone. "See you tomorrow," she said, her voice soft. No one could have guessed that would be the last time they'd hear her voice. Her car pulled into her driveway at 11 p.m. A neighbor saw the bedroom light turn on, then off. After that, there was only darkness. On Sunday morning, Tara's mother called. The phone rang once, twice, then 10 times. No one picked up. By Monday, she didn't show up at school. A colleague called the Acilla police. "Something's wrong," she said, her voice trembling. When the police arrived, they found Tara's car parked neatly in the driveway. The front door was locked tight, but no sound came from inside. They broke the door down and a frigid chill poured out. The living room was tidy as if untouched. But the bedroom was different. The bed was in disarray, blankets and sheets scattered. A strand of light brown hair lay on the pillow, Tara's hair. The bedside lamp was shattered on the floor, the bulb still warm, as if it had been turned off just hours before. The alarm clock lay on the floor, its hand stopped at 1:47 a.m. The last moment someone had been here? Tara's phone sat on the table charging, its screen lit up with 17 missed calls. But her wallet and keys were gone. Then they saw it, the rubber glove lying just outside the door, a faint streak of dried blood on its edge. An officer picked it up, frowning. "Someone tried to cover their tracks," he whispered. The DNA on the glove revealed two people, Tara and an unidentified man. But there were no shoe prints, no bloodstains, no clear signs of a struggle. Someone had been very careful. Someone knew what they were doing. The Acilla community began to murmur. "Tara couldn't have just disappeared," a neighbor said. "Someone came into her house." But who? And why? The Acela police called in the GBI, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, for support. Special Agent Gary Rothwell stepped into the house, his gaze sharp. Maybe she left on her own, he said, but his voice lacked conviction. The glove made him pause. This wasn't an accident, he whispered to a colleague. Someone planned this. Marcus Harper was the first to be called in for questioning. He sat across from the police, hands clasped tightly, eyes unblinking. I was home that night, he said, his voice flat. Friends can confirm I didn't leave. His alibi was solid, but something felt off. Marcus had been an Army Ranger. He knew how to erase traces, how to make someone disappear. I didn't hurt her, he added, but his hands tightened further. Tara had cried over him, had written in her diary that she feared he'd changed. Could that be a clue? Then there was a cop from Perry, a nearby town. He'd left his business card at Tara's door, saying he'd stopped by on Sunday evening to check on her. She didn't answer the bell, he said, his tone calm. But no one saw him in Acela that night. His wife confirmed he was home, but her eyes wavered as she spoke. Another figure emerged, a former student of Tara's, now 25 years old. He whispered to friends that he'd loved her, that he'd visited her house at night. Just to say hi, he said when questioned, but his hands shook. His alibi checked out, he'd been at a bar all night. The town began to fracture. Posters searching for Tara sprang up everywhere, on roads, in pecan orchards, outside the grocery store. Someone knows what happened, Janice Polk, a local resident, said. She set up a website, findtara.com, calling for tips. Hundreds of messages poured in from the US, from Europe, even from self-proclaimed psychics. But nothing concrete emerged. Tara was like a ghost, lingering somewhere, waiting. In 2007, a voice emerged from the shadows. John McCullough, a soldier from Texas, called the Acela police. I know who killed Tara Grinstead, he said, his voice hoarse. Bo Dukes told me. John had met Bo in the military at a training camp in Oklahoma. They became friends, two Southern boys sharing beers and war stories. At Christmas 2006, Bo invited John to Acela. As they drove through town, John saw a poster of Tara. Her radiant face, her eyes staring right at him. That girl? John asked, pointing at the poster. Bo gave a faint smile, his hand tightening around his beer. After a few drinks, he leaned in, whispering. Ryan Duke, my friend, killed her, Bo said. He strangled her in her bed. I helped him burn the body in the pecan orchard. John froze. Why would you do that? He asked. Bo shrugged. He used my truck. The land belongs to my family. I had no choice. That night, John couldn't sleep. He called the Acela police, leaving a message. This is John McCullough. I know who killed Tara. Call me back. But no one called. He called 9 more times over 9 years, to the GBI, to local police, but he only got silence. They thought I was drunk, John later recounted, his voice bitter. But I heard every word Bo said. He wasn't joking. Bo Dukes, a 21-year-old kid, raised in a wealthy family, owners of a sprawling pecan orchard. He was smart, arrogant, but carried a darkness no one could touch. He'd once been a student in Tara's class, sitting there listening to her lectures. Could that be a clue? 10 years passed, and the Tara Grinstead case faded into obscurity. Then in 2017, a woman stepped into the light. Brooke Sheridan, 25 years old, Bo Duke's girlfriend. They'd met on Tinder in 2015, after Bo got out of prison for stealing military equipment. He was smart, charming, Brooke said. But there was something very dark in him. They fell in love, but Brooke noticed Bo would often fall silent, his gaze drifting, as if running from something. One night, Bo collapsed on the floor, tears streaming down his face. I can't take it anymore, he said. Have you heard of Tara Grinstead? Brooke nodded. Who in Georgia hadn't? Ryan Duke killed her, Bo whispered. He used my truck to take her body to the pecan orchard. I helped him burn it. Brooke froze. Why would you do that? She asked. Bo looked at her, his eyes red. Ryan said, your truck, your family's land. You're in this now. I couldn't escape. Brooke couldn't sleep after that night. She saw Tara in her dreams, The young teacher's face, her eyes pleading. 2 weeks later, she called the GBI. "I know who killed Tara," she said, her voice trembling. "Bo Dukes and Ryan Duke." The GBI acted. They questioned Bo, and this time he confessed everything. "Ryan killed her," Bo said. "He beat her to death in the house. I just helped burn the body." But Ryan told a different story. "I broke in to steal money," Ryan told the GBI. "She caught me, I panicked, I strangled her. I didn't mean to kill her." The DNA on the glove matched Ryan. But why did Bo burn the body? What was he hiding? On February 23, 2017, Ryan Duke was handcuffed and brought to court. He kept his head down, hair disheveled, eyes sunken. "I killed Tara," he said in his first statement. "I broke into her house looking for money. She walked in, I hit her. She fell, she wasn't breathing." But before the trial, Ryan retracted his confession. "I lied," he said, his voice hoarse. "Bo was the one who did it. I only helped burn the body." Bo Dukes was arrested shortly after. In 2019, he went to trial for concealing a crime. "Ryan killed her," Bo told the GBI, his voice calm. "He strangled her in her bed. I only burned the body to help him." But Maria Woods Harbor, Tara's best friend, didn't believe it. "They both did it," she said, her hands clenched. "They attacked her in the bedroom. The glove is proof." Maurice Godwin, a private investigator, dug deeper. "I spoke to 2 teenagers near Tara's house," he said. "That night they saw 2 guys standing outside her bedroom window in the dark. It was Bo and Ryan." Godwin believed this wasn't a robbery. "They planned it," he said. "They wanted Tara, not money. They burned the body to cover their tracks." Bo denied it. "I didn't touch her," he said in court. But Ryan stayed silent, his gaze vacant. Their stories clashed. Ryan said Tara was beaten. Bo said she was strangled. One said she was clothed, the other said she wasn't. Who was telling the truth? Or were they both hiding a darker secret? More than 20 years later, Tara Grinstead remains an unanswered question. Ryan Duke awaits trial, promising to pin it all on Bo. Bo sits in prison for 25 years, but his eyes show no remorse. The glove lies still in an evidence bag, carrying Ryan's DNA, and perhaps that of an accomplice. Tara had once dreamed of a life bigger than Asilla, a family, a future. But this town held her back, in the ashes beneath the pecan orchard. John McCullough is still haunted. "I heard Bo tell that story," he said. "I see Tara in my dreams like she wants me to speak." Brooke Sheridan turned her back on Bo, but she can't escape the memory. "He's not the man I loved," she whispered. Maria Woods Harbor stood in front of Tara's house, tears streaming down her face. "She deserves the truth," she said. But what is the truth? A robbery gone wrong? A planned attack? Or a darker secret, buried deep beneath the pecan trees? The town of Asilla still whispers about Tara, the teacher with the radiant smile, now just a memory. The pecan trees stand tall, silent, guarding their secrets. And in the darkness, a question lingers. Who was really behind Tara in that room, at 1:47 a.m.? Only the ashes know. But ashes never speak.